Yo, what's going on? This is going to be a video that I'm going to be sending out first and foremost to my boy Harry. But I'm going to make this video go out to anyone else who asks for my opinion or my help on this stuff, whether that's Tone, I don't know if it's going to be Deuces, or whoever else. This video is set to show you what I like to run on offense and defense, some quick and basic adjustments that I like to make on certain plays that I run, maybe just certain adjustments that I like in general, even if I don't really run them yet or I fully understand them yet. Um, and I just want to apologize in advance. There may be a couple of plays I could forget here and there that I run, and I usually will remember them if I'm playing against like a certain defense, for example. Like the weekend league game I just played now, I played against someone who ran 5-2, and normally whenever I run against someone who runs 5-2, I like to run the ball on them, especially outside runs. I've noticed that that's what works best. And really, when it comes to my understanding of what works best in these kind of situations, it's a combination of me trying different things online and me looking on Reddit slash YouTube. Those are really my two main resources. I talk about Reddit all the time to basically everyone who I talk to about Madden Ultimate Team and how good of a tool the subreddit is. Any questions I have, during games. I mean, if I were to go back to my old Madden 18 games that I played in weekend league or just seasons, a lot of my early games where I'm not really talking a lot because I'm really sweating it out, you'll hear a keyboard pitter pattering in the background, and that's me in the search bar searching for like how to stop deuce close, how to stop halfback wham, how to stop tight end angle, and seeing what people would do. And there were literally games where I would try things that were recommended in certain posts on the subreddit and it would work for me, which is awesome. So I can't emphasize enough how good it is. I just wanted to brag about my 4-0 start to weekend league. We're going to go ahead and go into practice mode, and the reason why I wanted to show this and not start once I'm in practice mode is to sort of show how I think you should run practice mode, because you know you should pick a good team that has like fast players. Like for example, I'm going to pick the Chiefs right now probably on offense because they have Tyreek Hill, who basically everyone should have some form of. As I go back into Madden Ultimate Team like an idiot, everyone should have some version of Tyreek Hill on their team, whether it's, I mean, not the core elite anymore. It's freaking January, but I think the 89 team of the week, that card is still decent. He's not nearly as OP as he used to be, but he's still good enough where you can keep him on your team, I guess. High-end teams are gonna have the blitz to Team of the Year Tyreek Hill. Like I got lucky enough to pull that Team of the Year Tyreek Hill out of my what did I pull him out of? Out of the Blitz Duos Team of the Year NAT set or pack. All right, so we're gonna move on from the Giants. Unfortunately, you want to say the Chiefs? So let's go to the Chiefs. I can even run this with the Rams because they have Brandon Cooks, who's also fast. But then let's pick a defense. Any defense doesn't really matter. Actually, no. I'm going to run the Madden Elites or the Legends because they have 99s. Or they at least have high overall players. All right, so Madden Legends. I'll go up against the Madden Legends as well just to show that I'm not, I'm not no pussy, all right, we're going to go advanced settings. And we're going to put my offense. So I run the Patriots playbook just like 99% of the Madden community does. I don't spam the cheesy plays. At least that's what I think personally. But I'm not afraid to run it if I need to, especially in weekend league where you're playing against these super sweaty opponents that run that exact offense. And then defensively, I run the Giants. That's just because I really like the Arizona defense last year, and now that the Arizona defensive coordinator became the Giants defensive coordinator this year, or this past season, I should say, that's what they have on their defense. So I get to stick with my own defense, which is awesome. All right, and we're going to put it on All Pro because I'm pretty sure that's the difficulty in Weekend League. I don't think any of the online game modes have an All Madden difficulty. So again, I'm going to be running through plays and simple adjustments that I like. We're going to start on offense. I'm going to run through a couple of plays. Now, because I'm running the Patriots playbook, there are going to be plenty of resources online, mainly on YouTube because the subreddit, they don't like the cheesy plays, they don't like the meta, so they're not going to really comment on those Patriot playbook plays unless they're bashing it and how OP the playbook is. I mean, as Gutfox I think mentions in the top of his ebook video, there are like 4 to 5 formations in the Pats playbook that are so difficult to stop. I mean, I haven't even really run too much out of single back, so I'm just starting to try this. I'm not going to talk about single back, but I think Gut Fox covers some single back formations. It's a really good formation in general, and the Patriots have, like, Y trips is so nice. They have this nice double post, I think it's called. Wide receiver post. That's a really nice looking play, but I'm not going to go through any of that right now. So before I forget, I form. This is the only I formation setup that I run, slot, and then I primarily run out of this. I very rarely will ever pass. If I do pass, it'll be double slant, because slants are really, really nice. I mean, I'm not going to show it, but I'll run stretch, I'll run halfback lead dive, and I'll run halfback blast, as you can see right over there. Stretch is very simple. I'll come out and stretch. I primarily will run this against a 5-2 spammer, because 5-2 struggles, especially if your user is shit. It'll struggle against a good stretch play, and I think I form, the stretch that I have in this formation is really good. So we're just going to come out in a cover 3. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work out, because I don't know how good these... Yeah, I have Randy Moss. He's not a good run blocker. But just to show you what the play looks like, I'll flip the play by moving the right stick to the left. I like to run the ball in the direction of where my wide receivers are. If you really want to be scummy, I'll do this every once in a while. Again, especially against a 5-2 spammer, because if I have tight ends at wide receiver, and you can sub them in, I'll show you how to do that in a second. This is even more glitchy. Oh, that's LT. That's going to be really tough to run against. But you can see here, the play is pretty nice. Like, you had LT get me basically in the backfield. I'm able to run around him with this Barry Sanders. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to sub, because this is a basics video as well. We're going to go to iForm. So you see in the bottom it says R1 subs. You're going to press R1, and you're going to move to the right on the D-pad until you get to the wide receiver. So we're going to start with Jerry Rice. So we could sub in Kellen Winslow here. He's a tight end. Press X, go down to Shannon Sharp. And then let's just run it again, just so we can see. We're running as cover 4. This is a really popular defense, the cover 4 drop show 2. I run this defense primarily in the red zone. We'll talk about it later, about the setups. I'm not going to... I could use 2 controllers here, but I'm really lazy. And I already started the recording. I'm afraid if I turn on another controller, it's going to make me start the recording all over again. So we're not going to do that. So anyways, here's another stretch. You can see how much better the tight ends blocked that time. Even though we got a shorter gain, we got a longer gain on first down, or the first time we ran it, because Barry Sanders is an absolute god. So that is the setup for that I4. Very, very easy. And then you just mix the runs based off what your opponent is doing. So like if you start running stretch, and then your opponent starts to show that he's favoring that side where the wide receivers are, then you can just run stretch to the right. And that's going to be really good, because they're not going to expect it. And you're going to... I mean, I actually just... not to brag, I just forced a rage quit on a 5-2 spammer, as I mentioned. And the last play I had on offense before I forced him to rage quit, I was running stretch to the left where my wide receivers are. And by the way, I mean, people know this already, but flipping plays with R2 before you pick your play. So I was not flipping my play. I was just moving it so I would run to the left where my wide receivers are. My opponent kept expecting that, so he shifted his D-line and his linebackers to the left. So I just kept this play stock, and I ran stretch to the right, and I got like a 70-yard touchdown. So that was awesome. Anyways, moving on. We're going to go to gun. And the Patriots gun split close is a phenomenal formation. It's actually really unfair. This X-drag trail is one of the toughest plays to go against, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and pick X-drag trail. And we're just going to go into, I guess, a random play. We'll do cover 3, whatever. Or I just picked cover 1. Not a big deal. All right. I don't want to run it against cover 1 because it's man coverage. You're going to beat it. But I just want you to see. So my setup for this is how the play looks stock. I'll move circle until the circle is underneath my left running back here. And I'm going to press left on the D-pad to motion him over to the left. So now this is how the setup looks. Then you can decide what you want to do with, Barry Sanders here, your R1, your other running back. I'll typically put him in a pass block. So I pressed triangle, R1 on Barry Sanders, and I pressed R2. You see the pass block down there. And then I'll snap the ball here. And as you can see here, I mean, this is man coverage, but the drag is here. I always look for the drag first. I think in general, the best way to attack in Madden Ultimate Team against your opponents online is to run low to high. So I'll look for the quick passes, and then I'll look for the medium and then the deep. Unless my opponent is pressing, like depends on what they're doing. If they're blitzing and I pick up the blitz, like none of their guys get home, then I'm gonna look for the deep shot. So like a way you could attack the blitz, for example, I'll show you. If you press L1 and you press up on the right stick, you see how it says max protect? In this situation, max protect means that your two running backs are going to be in blocking formation, or they're going to be blocking at least. Now, another thing you could do, because most of you probably already know that, is if you motion, in this case, we'll say Tony Gonzalez, across the line of, or across, not the line of scrimmage, across the field, so he's going to be running behind your offensive lineman, basically, as you're motioning him. If you snap the ball before he gets set, he's going to become an added blocker for you. So let's just show you what that looks like. So I'm going to motion him over, and I'm going to snap it here. Now he's blocking. Look at that. He's blocking, he's blocking, he's blocking. I don't really have anyone open because I didn't prepare for this. That's an incomplete pass. But if you're playing against a spammer, especially if you're running against like a mid-blitz spammer or someone who's bringing a lot of heat, what you can do is what I showed. You can do this, and then you can put a... I don't have deep route specialists on these guys, so we'll just put them on a slant. And put Jerry Rice on a slant. And then we're going to motion Gonzalez over. I'm going to snap the ball. She's going to be looking. Look at that. Wide open. They brought a blitz, let's say a man blitz. You pick it up. You're going to just look for your crossing routes down the field. And that's what a lot of Madden Ultimate Team is right now. It's crossing routes and blitzing, basically. So I'm going to go through how I stop crossing routes a little bit later on in this video. So again, this is the normal setup for this. Let's just show you how the rest of the routes look instead of me throwing it to square on the drag every time. So we're going to take the snap. So you're going to see that triangle, that running back, that's going to be open late. You see how that gets open late? Now that's against man coverage again, but against almost any coverage, that's going to get open. And unless the user knows what play you're running, like the minute I see my opponent running split close, like again, in my last video, my opponent ran split close on me as well. And anytime they motion that running back out, I know immediately it's going to more than likely be X-drag trail. So I'll know that no matter what I do with my coverages, I have to always make sure to come back and defend that running back. And lo and behold, when I did that in my last game, my opponent had nowhere to go, and he would get sacked or he would throw it away, and you would have him clamped. So, yeah. Let's go ahead into another play in split close that I like. And we're going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter. I guess I'm going to try to go through my plays a little bit quicker because I don't want to spend like an hour and a half like Gut Fox doing this. I'm not a paid YouTuber. I'm just not. All right. So halfback wheel, this is a very, very popular play. I'm going to just go through my setup for this very quickly. We'll go against cover 3. So my setup against not against cover 3. I'm not really going to show how to attack coverages right now. I want to just keep this basic with what I run. So like I said, if I see my opponent motion out that left of screen running back, like out to the left like this, I'm going to assume it's going to be X-drag trail. That's why whenever I run X-drag trail, if I start doing that, then when I come out in halfback wheel, I still motion out my running back because I want to give off the impression that I can run multiple plays with this sort of setup out of split close. Because, you know, Madden, just like the game of football, it's ultimately a game of chess. And if you can disguise your coverages on defense, and if you can disguise your passing plays or just your plays in general on offense, it's going to keep your opponent on their toes, and they have to really read the routes and see what you're running. And that's the best way to attack your opponent, is when they don't know what you're going to do. If you keep coming out in the same play with the same setup and the same formation, I mean, there are some plays that are tough to guard, you know, that attack the sidelines like I talked about. But a lot of times you can get away with running the same formation as long as you mix up your looks. So like right here, I'm running same formation, same setup, different play. This is halfback wheel now, not X-drag trail. My only setup, I guess, for here, you could slant the circle wide receiver. Slanting is triangle. You press circle on Randy Moss here, and then you're going to move the right stick to the left. You see how it says slant over there? So you do that. Then you can either motion him out, but in this case I can't since I moved my triangle running back over to the left. I can't, but you can just run it like this, and we can see what it looks like. Now, something else you could do that I like to do also, now I'm going to try to not make this too difficult. If you're running against someone that runs cover 2, I mean, also just like in general, one of my favorite types of things to run, let's actually move triangle back here for this. One of my favorite things to run are flood concepts. And what a flood concept is, what I think it is you have a low, mid, high read. And if you look here, what I'll do is I'm going to streak Randy Moss. So that's triangle, circle, up on the left stick or on the D-pad. And then I'm going to motion Randy out. So now look at how we have it set up on the right side. You have Barry Sanders running that short route. You have Tony Gonzalez running that corner route. And then you have Randy running deep. So if your opponent has a hard flat, A hard flat's going to take away Barry Sanders. In this case, he has a curl flat, so Barry should still get open anyways. Or if your opponent has a cloud flat, Barry should also get open. The way you'll basically read it is you're going to snap the ball and you're going to immediately look at R1. If Barry Sanders is covered, or whoever your running back is, we'll say Ricky Williams. If Ricky Williams is being covered, then the odds of your Tony Gonzalez being open are relatively high. But if Barry and Tony are both covered, then there's a chance that your Randy Moss could be open. Let's actually move the ball. How do you move the ball here? Okay, I don't know how to. That's annoying. Whatever. Anyways, we're going to just snap the ball here. Make our reads. Barry Sanders wide open. We take it. And let's go down. So there you go. So that's how you do that. That works pretty well. Now, let's go into the instant replay. And let's take a look here. Instant replay. So we're going to take the snap. And right there you see Barry Sanders is open. Now if we waited for Tony Gonzalez, the odds of him being open here, very slim. You can see how deep number 20, is this Brian Dawkins? It is. You can see how deep Brian Dawkins is playing, and he's not paying any respect to Barry Sanders here. So yeah, that's like a simple setup you can do at a halfback wheel that I really like. And as I said, in general, I love the flood concepts. Now let's move on to a different play here. Also really quickly against cover 2, if your opponent isn't running middle third, which I'll show what that means out of cover 2, you see that, I mean, it's going to be tough to tell who the square wide receiver is, but you see that left wide receiver in halfback wheel, he runs that post route. Cover 2 has a gap in the middle, which I'll show you when I pick the defensive play. And if your opponent either doesn't have a middle blue, like a middle linebacker in a middle blue, or if their middle linebacker is slow, if for some reason they're running like a Dick Butkus at middle linebacker for God knows why, and he has sub 90 speed. If you have a fast wide receiver, a Tyreek Hill, a Randy Moss running that post route, that could really get open. So again, the problem is now in Madden Ultimate Team, the safeties are so fast that by the time you throw that ball, the defender can quickly, click on, switch on to that safety, run up and pick that ball. So just putting that out there just so you know. Another way that you could run it, I'm going to come out in mesh here. So we're going to run mesh, and we're going to run this against cover 2 just so you can see. So you see how cover 2, all 3 linebackers are in yellows. If you don't put that linebacker in a deep blue, that could get toast. So again, same exact setup here. Here's mesh, and this is what I talked about, disguising your plays. So now we came out in a different play than halfback wheel, but we're going to run the same general idea. We're going to put Randy on a streak, and we're going to motion him out, and then we're going to put Barry Sanders on an out route. Snap the ball. We're going to see here, so they're playing that. Actually, I made a terrible read there. We're going to go back and do that again. Go back and... So you can see, I make mistakes all the time. You could see, I'm no Madden genius. I don't, proclaim to be. But, just wanted to show that I make mistakes plenty of times too. Actually, what you could do here, if you know it's cover 2, you could fade Randy Moss. We take the ball and you snap it. And you quickly throw it now, and that's picked. Well, we tried. There is a slight opening over there, but this cover 2 is just playing very well. Let's try it one more time. Is the short route actually open? It actually is open. Okay, I'm just an idiot. So see, that's me being impatient and not taking the short route. I didn't get a lot of yards there, but, it is what it is. This play isn't going to work every time. I thought it normally does work against cover 2. Let's just try it one more time. I just want to see if we get someone else open here. So we're going to take the snap here. So we're going to wait. Yeah, so actually nothing was really open there. If we waited late, we could have thrown it. Let's try one more time. So we're going to streak Randy Moss. Put Barry Sanders on that route. Let's actually pass block LaDainian Tomlinson. So you see, we wait here. We wait. He's actually open now. We can throw it now. And that's the first down. There you go. So, again, I'm not saying to run mesh. You can see I did a really bad job of running mesh against my opponent's cover 2 here. But again, you can see if your opponent's really bottling that up, you can just run it stock. Maybe put Barry Sanders on an out route. Take the snap here. Make your reads. And I got sacked because the pass rush is so good in practice mode. All right, let's just move on. Even though I didn't run that play well at all, I got picked and I made a couple of bad reads. The point of what I was doing was to show that it's a good idea, in my opinion, to run similar concepts out of different plays just to keep your opponent on their toes. I think that basically covers a split close for me. Let's just try Z-spot one more time. I think the other issue that I had when I ran that mesh play is that Okay, maybe this is not good. We'll see. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. But what happens if I keep him closer? Yeah. Okay. So if they're not gonna play, the hard flats, that's gonna be wide open. So again, cloud flats is always take the underneath. That's the problem. I can't get anything deep because they're just sitting in these clouds. Yeah. See how wide open he gets. So it looks like the mistake I made when I was running this play previously was I put Randy Moss out wide there. So just don't do it and you'll be fine. All right, moving on. Let's get out of split close. There's also a couple of nice plays out of split close that are run plays, just to show I'm not going to run them. But halfback draw, I love halfback draw and power. Oh, actually, you know what? I lied. One more play out of this, and I'm going to stop. We'll run this out of Tampa 2. So this play, what is it called? Is it PAY shot? Yeah, PAY shot. Now, if you have deep route specialist on your Randy Moss and your Jerry Rice, you can audible or you can hot route them to have a deep crosser, the route that your Jerry Rice and Tony Gonzalez are running on this play. So how I like to set it up when I'm playing online is I'll streak the tight end, and then I'll put Randy Moss on a deep crosser. He doesn't have a deep crosser. I'm just going to run it with a slant just so you get the general idea. And then I max protect my running back, so I have 7 blockers. So I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to throw it if I can. But now I'm going to get sacked. Just going to throw it away. You can see against cover 2, this is very well defended. Let me actually see here. Was Tony Gonzalez open? Let's see. It's actually not open. But that's fine. All right. I like to run that play, though. That play's worked really, really well for me. Let's move on here. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to a slot offset. Just a couple of plays I like to run here. I like to run inside zone. I like to run posts. That plays really nice. You can see I like to run a lot of these crossing routes and these corner routes. So that plays pretty nice. Levels is really good online if you're like just starting. I like to run levels. I think level is actually a little underrated. I think that it plays pretty well. Let me run this China double in because this is one of my favorite plays to run against a cover 3 guy. So let's come out in cover 3 and hopefully this works. So the way I like to set this up, this may be tough to set up because there's no first down marker. So this is my setup for it. I press triangle, I press square for that outside wide receiver, and I'm going to put him on an out route, so that's left stick or the left direction or the directional pad to the left. And I like to smart route it. So I press triangle, square, and if you press R1, it smart routes it. So that smart route on a 1st and 10 is going to have the out route run right to the first down marker. And then I'm going to motion that left tight end to the right. And then you can either max protect here or you can just leave it as is. And if you don't max protect, you can read to see if they don't respect Barry Sanders or your running back. Now here they're not going to because this play has them in curl flats in the purple zone. So I actually may run it again and put them into hard flats if I can. We're going to snap the ball here. Reading, waiting. Look at that. Wide open. Even though he dropped the ball there, that's wide open. Usually my guys hold on to that in Madden Ultimate Team. I don't know what the deal is with practice mode. I just want to show you how guys get open. The point is that smart routed out route gets the cornerback on that side to bite, and then that leaves your guy on the post wide open. Let's just run it one more time. And let's see, is there a cover 3 hard flat? We can run cover 3 cloud. I actually like cover 3 cloud in general as a good coverage. So again, put him on an out route, put square on out route, smart route him, motion over here. Let's actually max protect and let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we're max protected. We're going to take the snap, looking. Maybe you can low ball him. And that's a pick because I threw a low ball. That's a disaster. So never low ball out of that. So we're going to motion him over. Try one more time. We'll max protect. Take the snap. If the out route makes him bite, throw it. And he drops it again. But that's fine. You see he's getting open. So I like to run that play online. And it works pretty well against the cover 3 spammer. Let's move on to a different play here. Anything else I want to show out of this? I don't think so. Not really. This play's not bad. PA post shot, actually. Let me show this one last play. Again, let's run against cover 3. I don't really care. All right, so here's my setup for this. So I'm going to press triangle, R1, and R2 to make him pass block. The reason why you can't max protect here and make him go into run block is because he's already on play action. I can show you. So here's the base setup. If I max protect, he's still in play action. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to press triangle, R1, and then R2 to make him pass block. So my setup for this play, I'll streak sharp, so triangle, triangle, up on the left stick. Then I put my square receiver on a smoke screen. That's triangle, square, and R2. And the point of that is my opponent usually is going to see all the deep routes. And if he doesn't respect the flats, which is what I've been saying, if he doesn't respect your Ricky Williams running on those short routes, he's not going to respect Jerry Rice here. So I'm going to take the snap here. You can see here, even though they do have a video curl flats, that wasn't smart. But you can see why I have him there. So let's run it again. And let's actually look at the other routes here. Now this route, X gets opening as cover 3 as well. I believe it's cover 3. Let's see if I get the protection for it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, look at that. Wide open as I get hit. But wide open, he actually catches it this time. That's a first down. So that's a great play to run against cover 3 as well. Let's move on. I think I want to wrap this video up kind of shortly. I don't want to go on for way too long. So that's basically what a slot offset is. Let's go into another couple of popular formations here. Trips tight end. Maybe this is the most popular of all of them. Maybe more so than bunch. I don't know. I'm going to show you 2 plays here that I like to run. Double and sail is an excellent play. It has 2 setups that I like to run out of it. Again, we'll just run cover 3 here. So here's my first setup for it. You max protect, L1 up on the right stick. You're going to streak triangle, and then you're going to motion over Randy Moss after you put him in a drag. So drag is triangle, square, down on the right stick. Now, it's like I've been telling you for my previous few plays that I ran with a low, mid, high read. You're going to start low, and you're going to work your way up. So we're going to motion Randy Moss over. Right when he gets around here, snap the ball. Now we're looking, the drag is open, but look who else is going to be, oh, I got sacked. Well, I'm going to try one more time. Hopefully I don't get sacked. We're going to max protect. But circle was coming open there. I don't know if you could see it there. We're going to take the snap here. Come on, please don't sack me. Please don't sack me. Look at that. Nice. Wide open. That's a deep, deep play. We got down to basically the goal line. We'll run it one more time just to show you what it looks like with me throwing it to the drag. So we're going to take the snap here. Looking. Drag is kind of open. We're going to jump up the middle. That's a short 5 or 6 yards. If your opponent gives you 5 to 6 yards every play, you're going to take that. Because that means you're getting a first down every 2 plays. You're going to eventually be in the red zone. And even if you don't always score a touchdown, I personally am a believer in taking points every single time. Why did I leave this play? I had another setup I wanted to show you. So that's one setup. I love that setup. I don't run it enough. I don't run trips tight end enough because I really feel bad whenever I run this. But I don't really think it's that cheesy of a formation if you don't like... I don't know. I have no explanation. It's a pretty cheesy formation. It just has so many nice plays. So here's my other setup. And again, this works out really nicely because you're going to disguise that you're running my previous setup, but you're actually going to be running what's basically a level setup now. So you can mess around with the wide receivers on the left side, your triangle and circle. I have no designated setup for them. Maybe I'll drag Jerry Rice here. Maybe you can do something like that. So what I did here is I dragged Jerry Rice, that's triangle, down on the right stick. And then I put Brown here, I think that's Tim Brown, on a smart routed in route. So that's triangle, circle, right on the right stick, right on the left stick, or right on the left directional pad button. And then triangle, circle, R1. That puts them, just so you can see the difference. So triangle, circle, right on the left stick. That's his regular out route, but you may be saying, oh, that's going to be right next to Jerry Rice's drag. That means one defender can basically guard both routes. That's stupid, and you're right. So you're going to press triangle, circle, R1 to smart route it. There you go. Now you have a true levels concept. Now you may be saying, oh, well, Randy Moss is running a similar route as Jerry Rice. Well, remember, we want to have the same setup, essentially, or at least to our opponent, make it look like the same setup as the play we just ran, which was when we streaked Jerry Rice and we brought Randy Moss over and Randy Moss played as the drag. Now Randy Moss is going to play a streak. So triangle, square up on the left stick, and we're going to motion Randy Moss over. And we're going to take the snap here, and we're going to read the play. Triangle open on the drag. Nice. Quick 7-yard gain. Now, something else you could do if you want to make it a little different. Again, we'll do the same setup. Do something like that. We're not going to drag Jerry Rice this time. We're going to motion over Randy Moss. Now, if you're playing on the left of the hash marks, like you see right here, we're right in the middle. It may be a little tough to see if LaDainian Tomlinson or Ricky Williams, whoever your running back is is gonna get open before you, because I'm trying to word this the best way I can. You don't want to have to quickly look at your running back, because the way he runs this route, this table route, you're gonna have to look at it immediately to know if he's open. Whereas if you want to give it some time to develop, press triangle R1 and move the left stick to the right. That out route takes a little bit longer to develop. It's not as glitchy of a route, but you have more time to progress through your reads. So we're gonna again motion Randy Moss over. And again, if you look, it basically looks like levels if you were to move your wide receiver over and you streak him. We're going to see, we're waiting. Okay, he just decided to never run his route. That's kind of AIDS. But see, like right here, I'm going to wait. Look how wide open he is. Holy shit, that was almost a pick. But he was wide open. He was wide open. Holy God. Deion Sanders is so good at the game of John Madden football. Jesus Christ. I mean, he was also good in the NFL, but whatever. All right, so we're going to not fuck this up, hopefully. LaDainian. Take the snap. We're waiting. Look how wide open he got. That's a first down. Look at that. So if your opponent gives that to you, you're going to eventually see your opponent adjust, play hard flats. Then all of a sudden, that X, your tight end, Tony Gonzalez, he's going to get open on that route. Maybe your Randy Moss gets open going deep. So again, the possibilities are there for you. That's why I love these flood concept type of plays. And those are my two main setups out of double in sail. Last play I want to show you out of this formation. Now this play, PA shot wheel, has a lot of popular setups. I don't really run the most popular setup because I'm just not comfortable with it and I haven't ever tried it, but I'm aware of it. So the most popular setup I see for this is you put your circle receiver on a hitch or on a curl. You see he's going to run that short little route. And then if you have playmaker on him, when you snap the ball, I'm not going to make this too complicated because playmaker is a little complicated. You streak your tight end, and we're going to take the snap. Let's see if I can show you here. So playmaker, he's going to run. You saw, so playmaker, the way that works is you move your right stick in the direction you want your closest receiver to run. So if you see here in the instant replay, I moved it to the left. A lot of times what people will do is they'll run it like that, and then the user will have to come and play that. And when the user does that, that's going to open up routes down the field. So you can see here, I playmakered him to the left. Now I threw that ball late. By the time I threw it, it was a big tackle for basically no gain. But imagine if this guy, or where's the other linebacker? Or this guy is the user. We'll say this guy, because this guy's closer. If your opponent's smart, he'll pick this guy. So imagine if this guy decided to play the hitch. So he's like, oh, he's going to playmaker him to the left. So now he runs down to play that. Now all of a sudden, this wide receiver, Jerry Rice, he's going to be open over the middle. So that's why I think that setup is so popular. It's not unguardable, it's just popular. Again, I backed out of this play like an idiot. We're going to go back to formation. We're going to go to trips. Run the same play. And I don't know if this play is good against cover 3. I really don't know. Also, it's tough to know because I'll make a lot of bad reads sometime out of this, and Randy Moss will just bail me. So here's my setup. This is my go-to money play on a 3rd and long, 4th and long, and I've been bailed out by this so many times by Randy Moss, who's on that square route. So my only setup for this, very easy. Streak circle, streak X, and then block LaDainian Thompson. You can shift the line to the left if you want to do that. Press L1 and then move the right stick to the left. And they'll slide to the left there in case they're bringing heat off that side. Now we're going to snap the ball. Let's see if our guy gets open. Look at that. Triangle's open down the field. That's a touchdown, except he dropped it. But that's going to be a touchdown more times than not. The fact that he got his hands on the ball, you can see, as I mentioned at the start, they just play really weird in practice. I'm not saying that's going to be caught every time, but what's going to usually end up happening is your opponent is going to end up playing that triangle route that I got in the end zone. He's going to play that, and then square is going to get wide open with that zig route. So you're going to snap the ball here. You can also look at these. So let's see. You see again, triangle is going to get open again as I throw a terrible pass on the run. But that's my main setup for this play. I like to run it a lot. Let's see if I can run this against a different formation. Let's run it against cover 4. Let me see if that'll get this zig route open. Because cover 4 is a pretty popular defense that people run online. We'll go nickel. Where's cover 4 quarters? There it is. All right, so streak circle, streak X, pass block your running back, snap the ball. Let's see what happens. I may get sacked. I'm kind of afraid. Throw to square. It's going to get picked, isn't it? Yup. Great break on the ball. All right, that's probably not what I want to run against. All right, whatever. Let's see if someone else can get open. Sometimes against cover 4, these streaks do get open. I wish I could move this ball a little further back. Can I do that? Respot ball. Let's move a little further back. Let's put it on this side of the hash mark. So let's try this. So streak circle, streak X, snap the ball. Let's see here. Is triangle still good? Well, triangle still gets open. Look at that, man. So they really have to user that. If they don't user that, that's going to be a very, very easy touchdown. So they have to defend that. All right. Anyways, let's move on here. Let's pick a different play. What else do I want to run a trips tight end? Anything else? This play's not bad. PA counter go. I have to run this play more, actually. I'm glad I saw it. I forgot that I even ran that play. It's running against cover 3. I really don't care. Again, this video is not going to show how to attack certain coverages. I just like to bring out a basic video on what I like to run. So what you can do here, if you like, what I've noticed online is that the way you get these crossing routes open, like what Circle is running, is if you have a streak running on the side where that player is going to end up. It's very poorly worded. But basically, Circle is going left to right. So if you have a player on the right side of the field already running a streak, that should get him open in most cases. And what really helps is if you have another player on that side running a short route, like a drag. So if you have like him run a drag, and if you pass block LT, you could also put LT on an out route and just keep Jerry Rice on his normal route. That could work. But just for now, let's put him on this route. Now let's see how this shakes up. We're going to take the snap here. The drag is open. Circle is open. Look at that. So the drag got 81 Tim Brown open there. That was pretty nice. I really don't want to go over much more in this. We could also, I guess, I've never even set it up. Let's motion him over. And this is going to be the same type of setup here. So here I motioned the square receiver over. I put the running back on an out route. Let's see what this even looks like. I'm curious. Does that take away the... Oh, I had R1 wide open. Oh, I still have circle wide open. I got hit, didn't I? Yep, I got hit. But you saw we had a lot of guys open along the sidelines there. So you can also... like, don't be afraid to tinker around with these formations and these plays in practice mode or in a solo, or I guess online too if you really are feeling ballsy. But a lot of times, if I'm up big on my opponent, I'll try different setups for different plays. Another similar kind of play I like to run, this PA slot corner. And we'll come out in cover 3. So what I'll do here, what you can do here, you can do multiple things. You could streak. So look, remember that double in setup we ran earlier? We can max protect, right? So we're max protected here. You streak Jerry Rice. And now look, this is the exact same setup we had in my first double in sale setup. Motion Randy Moss over. Take the snap. We're going to make our reads. They bumped really well. I'm just going to throw it away here. We had the drag open, but I'm not trying to throw the same guy over and over and over again. So again, just to show you, why do I keep backing out of the play like an idiot? All right. I still have one more formation I want to go through real quick. So we'll run this PA slot corner one more time. So what you could do here also, you could streak the tight end, pass block your running back, and then motion Brown over. This is my favorite setup for this play. And then snap it whenever. So now look what you have here. You have two guys that are crossing on, these are called skinny posts, I believe. So you have a skinny post from triangle, a skinny post from circle, a streak from the tight end, because again, as I said, these streaks will normally free up one of your crossers, and I believe it should free up triangle because of what I said earlier. If you have a tight end running a streak or a wide receiver running a streak, and then you have a player on the other side of the field running a post going towards that side the player is streaking from, you should get that guy open. So if what I said is true, we should have Jerry Rice open. And what's great about this play here is you have your crossers, you have your streak, and then you have your short read. You have your Randy Moss running the drag. We're going to take the snap here. Hopefully I don't get sacked. Let's see. We're waiting, throwing it up. I'm going to get sacked. I don't get sacked. We have triangle open again. That post got open. I also had the drag open there. So really, if your opponent, your opponent's going to have to use her. You know, like I really wish I could take control of the defensive players. I wish I had my controller on, but I don't right now because I'm afraid I'm going to lose all this progress I've made. You know, maybe I'll just do offense for right now, or maybe I'll just do a quick. I don't know. We'll see what I do. I have no idea. This video is going to be so long. All right, offense. We're just going to show a couple of things on this side of the ball before I move to defense. So Pat Sale, this is one of the most popular plays right now in Madden Ultimate Team. I very rarely run this play just because I just don't like it. Same exact idea though. We're going to put circle on a slant, or a deep crosser if you have the deep route specialist ability. And we're going to max protect. So what do we have here? 2 crossing routes and a streak. Take the snap, waiting. That's a dot. If I get it in there in time, and I don't. All right. You can see why I don't like packs. I don't know how to really run it that well, but this is what most people run it like this. And they streak him, and then you can even just leave. You can leave Gonzalez on that route. Take the snap. That's open. Take that. Except he has no speed, so he's going to get tackled immediately. So this is the most popular plays. I'm not going to go over how to do it because clearly I have no idea what I'm doing. But that's what most people run, and it usually works with deeper crossing routes. Again, I don't have access to those deeper crossing routes because you can't put deep route specialist abilities on these wide receivers in practice mode. So another really popular play here is this Pat's curl flat. So the way people set this up, kind of similar to all of our other plays. You're going to streak circle, and then you can max protect, and then you can put Randy Moss on an in route or on a drag route. Now what's really glitchy about this play is if you have playmaker on your Randy Moss, you can take the snap, and then when Randy Moss gets right around the middle, so like right where you see number 68, my center, right when Randy Moss gets right across from him, you playmaker up, move the right stick up, and he immediately cuts it upfield, and that gets really, really glitchy. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to snap the ball here. Waiting. Let's playmaker him up, can I? Yep, and look how open he gets. Look at that. Look at that. How glitchy is that? And that's without playmaker. You saw how long it took for him to recognize that I'm playmakering him up? You give him playmaker, that's an immediate cut. So that play, very, very glitchy. Anything else I want to show him? Pat's bunch? I don't think so. The running plays out of this formation are really good too. Halfback base, halfback draw. I really didn't go over any running plays. I feel like you can run out of so many formations in this. I don't know. Do I want to show bunch trail? I don't even really run this play. My boy Deuces runs this play a pretty good amount. We could streak, actually no, hold on. Let's not streak him. We could streak Gonzalez, although that route that he has set is pretty good. Actually, let's see if we can get a setup with that. You can streak him. So if you streak Randy Moss here, and you put Terrell Owens on a deep crosser, that's going to get open along the sidelines usually. What you can do just to make sure is put LaDainian Thompson on an out route. Does he take the snap here? Does he play the out route? He does not. But we still got him open there, whatever. Again, these plays are kind of weird on defense because you have my opponent, the CPU defenders here. They're not running cloud flats or hard flats. They're in purples, and you very rarely see people stay in purples. So that's basically the offense. I may do a defensive video later. I don't know if I really want to do defense right now. All right, I'm going to do a very quick defensive video because I think defense is really, really short. So we're going to flip sides, and we're just going to throw this away. All right, hopefully they don't snap the ball too quickly here. We're going to see how defense looks with me only controlling the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to show the main plays I run on defense. Cover 3 sky, cover 4 drop show 2. I run Tampa 2. That's mainly all I run out of 3-4 odd. Nickel, the most popular blitz in the game right now, I think, is nickel blitz. I'm not going to show you how to run it because there's a lot of videos online that explain it and show it much better. But that's a really popular blitz that I like to run. Cover 3 sky I like to run. Cover 4 quarters is solid against crossing routes. I'll run it like that. The only play I'm going to show how to run is big nickel over G. This is my favorite formation to use in the game right now. And again, I think defense is much easier to play than offense in Madden Ultimate Team. So I'm going to show you my setup. And this is my setup when I'm playing against crossing routes. This is my go-to setup. So now still with this defense, you have to user one of the crossing routes. Remember how I talked about, a couple of minutes ago, the crosser is going to get open when he's running towards the side that the tight end is streaking on. The only problem is I don't really have... Okay, if I do another defensive video, I'll show you how I set this up. I am also not in the Patriots playbook here. This is terrible. So I'm just going to show you how I run this play. So, here's the setup. You're going to press L1 up on the right stick, L2 up on the right stick. What that does is that makes you pass commit. Okay, so you see how the D-line is set up here? Now, I shade underneath as triangle down on the right stick, triangle up on the right stick, triangle up on the right stick. That puts you in cloud flats that are then shaded over top. I find that these cloud flats play much better. Then we press triangle, triangle, square, and then left on the right stick. That puts them in an outside quarter. See how that circle is smaller than the other 2 blue circles? Same thing with my circle cornerback. Triangle, triangle, circle, left on the right stick. Now this is going to play much better. So let's say, for example, on this play, that Randy Moss, the square wide receiver here, that he's going to run the streak and Jerry Rice is going to run a crosser. That means Jerry Rice is going to get open if you just leave this left side of the field alone, even with this setup. So when they snap the ball, you're going to want to use your Jerry Rice. So this is your user. You want to attack him here. And then when this Randy Moss comes over, they're probably not going to have a streak on this side of the field. I don't know what they're going to have. But your cloud flat quarter duo should take care of them. So if they snap the ball here and they're running a crosser, that's going to be bottled up. So what is this going to be? Let's see. So again, we're defending this side of the field if they run it. And, again, they didn't run a play that I cared about, so that's incomplete. So just once again, L1 up on the right stick, L2 up on the right stick. This is only if you know they're going to pass. You get glitchy D-line animations only if they're going to pass because you're pass committing when you do L2 up on the right stick. Then triangle down for hard flats, triangle up for cloud flats, triangle up again to make your cloud flats play a little deeper. Triangle, triangle to go to individual assignments, square for your left of screen cornerback, right on the right stick, left on the right stick. Triangle, triangle to bring up individual assignments, circle, and then left on the right stick again to put both of your outside corners in those quarter flats to play the crossers better. Now, if you're playing at the end of the game and your opponent isn't running a lot of crossers, he's running a lot of verticals. What I like to run to beat verticals, because you can see verticals, if they're running streaks, look at all this space in between these two circles. Quarter outs are very susceptible against deep plays. That's why quarters and when you run a cover 4 quarters play, you're very, very susceptible to the deep post. That's going to get open against you. Like an X drag trail, if you go back and watch in the beginning, the route that the circle receiver runs in X drag trail, that is great for beating cover 4. I beat cover 4 all the time with that play. So you're playing against someone who's running verticals. Instead of running outside quarters, I'll press triangle, triangle, square. I'll move the right stick to the right. You see how it says deep half? So there's your deep half. And see how that's a much bigger circle? This is going to leave the crossers wide open, though. So if your opponent's running crossers, never, ever, ever do this. Triangle, triangle, circle, right on the deep half. So this almost looks like a cover 2 with a middle linebacker in a deep blue. And then you have your cloud flat. So when your opponent snaps this ball, this should protect you against the deep ball. So let's take away the middle routes here. And you can see that made him throw it short there, and our defender was able to get the hit stick. Is there anything else I want to show out of this? Oh yeah, you can also cross-man. I'll show cross-manning out of... we can just cross-man out of this. I wouldn't recommend cross-manning for the newer users. I don't even cross-man yet. I'm trying to figure out the best covers to cross-man out of. I think it's cover 4. I'm not a big fan of cross-manning, so what a lot of people do, I'll show you really quickly here. So we'll go into a cover 4 setup. Cover 4 quarters, for example, and they'll come out here. We'll just run the same formation, I guess. I really wish... Okay, here's gun bunch. Oh, not gun bunch. Just single back bunch. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just pick any play here. It doesn't really matter. We're on Seattle here. Okay, so this is what cross-manning is. Most people will put good man cover cornerbacks at their free and strong safety. So this guy here, this is your free safety. And then this guy over here, this is your strong safety. So you have these two guys over here. And then you're going to basically man cover both of those guys. So what you do here is you're going to press triangle, triangle, triangle again for your free safety. And you're going to put X. So you see how he's man covered on X? Let's say he's the crossing guy. Now you're going to press triangle, triangle, L1, up on the right stick, and square. So now you're cross-manned. Then what you could do, you see this 3-rec hook? This yellow guy here? You can put him in a deep blue if you want. So you can put R1, R1, because that's how you pick your linebackers, X, and then up on the left stick. So now you have a middle third. So now this is a decent coverage to run crossman out of. We're going to go ahead and user this guy over here, the purple guy, and we'll let them snap the ball here. And we can see what this looks like. So here's the crossman. And he had to throw it short. So this will be the last thing I'm going to basically show you. Let's go into instant replay, and let's just show you what that looks like. And you can see why this is so good against crossers, even though they didn't run crossers here. So we're going to take a look. You're going to see, again, my free safeties here, strong safeties here. They're going to take the snap, and you're watching them. So this guy is manned up against square, right? So you're going to see him. He's going to run to guard the square receiver. We already have a deep blue there as well. So if they run a streak, he's going to be double covered. And here is this guy. I think he's playing... The cross. See how well he played the crosser right there? Because the tight end crosses here. So watch. Take the snap. Crosser's coming, but look at 27. He's ready for number 88, and he plays that crosser beautifully. So look at how well that played it. So again, for crossing routes, cross manning is an option. I'm just not too comfortable with it, so that's why I don't run it. So that's basically all I have for you. I'm just going to say it to Harry because this is the only guy I'm really showing the game to right now, or these plays to, I should say, right now. Sorry, I stumbled all over my words, Harry. I have no script. I'm just going live off the cuff. I really hope this helps, Harry. This is a combination of the video I sent you earlier in the year, or earlier in the MUT year, where I talked about basic adjustments. This is me going over plays I like to run on offense, a couple of the plays I like to run on defense with my main setup out of cover 3 in big nickel over G. I hope you enjoyed, Harry. Very, very, very hopefully simple things for you to pick up on as you continue to watch the video. And again, like I said, this is going to take some time. I would personally go into this video with either your practice mode turned on in Madden, or your notebook or your tablet or whatever you want to take notes on, and just practice this stuff. You know, pause it, rewind it, and go through it as many times as you need to, and I think you'll be set. So I know you like to run your whatever playbook you're running. I don't know if it's the Jets, the Panthers, whatever you're running. I think you should go pick up the Patriots playbook. I know it's the Cheese offensive playbook, but until you get comfortable running games online, I think you should continue to run that playbook because those plays in that playbook are so good that's going to help carry you to wins without you having too much Madden online experience. Hope you enjoyed, Harry. Until next time, this is Broth, signing out.